if you are starting a business, you should absolutely be utilizing this free space that lets you actually test if you have a customer without spending money.
Welcome to the Know Your Ship podcast, presented by eHub. I'm your host, Frank Dolce. How angry are you going to be if we start talking about Taylor Swift?
Oh, I would never be angry.
I'm so conflicted
about speaking about Taylor Swift.
This
ever.
is. Should we go? This is Lora Palmer.
Hi.
And she's fantastic. You're really going to like her. And if you need a good laugh or entertainment, tell us about your Instagram.
I mean, it goes for my business, right? Bonobo Baby, but I really wanted to build a brand with relatable parenting content. So I post reels on what I know, what my life experiences are with my children, with my husband, and then I'll weave into there some sales videos of my product. But a lot of it is I just want people to feel connected to real parenting situations.
Oh, did you just come up with that? How many times have you said that?
Lots. That's why it flowed so naturally just
and
there.
And you did the little pause too.
To make sure you got it.
Situations. It was really good. I worry about that regularly. I'm always concerned about timing.
Oh.
When you say something, because the timing makes all the difference.
Timing is important.
And your videos are great. Okay, tell us your company.
My company is a really simple way to clean baby poop, right?
And the name of it is?
Bonobo Baby. So the product is, we call it a baby bidet. I say we, it's me. But we makes you sound like you're a more credible business.
You and your team.
Me and my team of
professionals.
Yes, and my husband,
Who?
Interim CFO. I haven't hired him yet.
He is? He's the CFO?
Well, no, I don't know.
Kind of working in it?
No. I mean, he helps me with the part, like the finance and stuff, because I just don't love that aspect of business, to be honest. So he's way better at the data and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, he handles a lot more of that where I'm the creative.
Well, he's very clever in the Instagram posts as well.
Yeah, he's so good he's such a good sport. And he's, like you said, timing. He has great timing with things. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been fun to do together.
Okay, and I cut you right off. Okay, so tell us about Bonobo.
So it is essentially it's a baby wipes accessory, right? It's a spray bottle of water that fits around any brand of baby wipes that you're using so that you can reduce irritation and give your baby a better clean. It's actually recommended from pediatricians to use a spray bottle of water before wiping because you reduce wiping and you really do make your wipes work better. But there's never been a product for parents that just makes it a part of the routine. And so I needed that for myself with both my kids. And you got to the point in my life where I was like, okay, no one else is going to freaking do this. I better do this.
Yeah. And it sat around for a while. Like you had an experience, it sat around for a while, and then you had this ignition.
Yeah. I would say that the baby bidet, even that name, the baby bidet, has been in my brain in the works for 5 years before I had... or 4 years, however old my son was when I launched it. But it was right when my son was born, probably when he was 4 months old, that the idea kind of started to grow just from experience cleaning poop and baby wipes not cleaning the areas that really need to be cleaned.
And
so
spreading stuff around.
Yeah, water's great. Water is so good at cleaning poop.
Well, water is the universal acid. Did you know that?
No, but that's a great asset.
You can use it.
Thank you. I will take it.
If I don't see it in a reel coming up soon,
I'll find a way. I'll find a way.
It's true. And it's, you said, we were talking about this earlier, you were like, it's so simple.
Yeah.
But it's like so effective.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy that people haven't thought about it before. Or maybe people have, but it's just so inconvenient to carry a big spray bottle around wherever you go and try to attach it to your wipes or whatever else you have.
And you can't, right? Like, I guess you could with a scrunchie, but how many times are you just like tossing your wipes around? And it's just, yeah. And I will tell you that when I had learned, like had fallen upon the spray bottle hack, right? And just thought, yes, I figured it out. How come moms haven't told me about this? Like, Jake, you got to try a spray bottle. And we're like, this is so easy. You only think about the spray bottle when you open the diaper and there's the crap, right? And then you're like, you remembered your wipes in your diaper and you're just yelling at each other, where's the spray bottle? Like, it's this whole mess because once you use the spray bottle, you don't want to go back. So it was like a constant thought of mine that if it just was a part of my baby wipes, I would use it every single time. And that's kind of, I would think about that. But then I was like, there was no fire or drive for me to need to make this at the time, right? I was living in paradise. I had my dream job. I was the happiest mom you could ever be. So there was nothing that was like, oh, I should start a business. It was just kind of like, I'm content. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I don't need to do this.
Okay. Well, that gets to I think that starts to tell the interesting part of this story. And do you want to talk about that?
I can talk about anything. I'm an open book. You can ask me anything. It's a problem I have, actually.
No, that's...
I'm too open and
that's
honest.
Perfect for Know Your Ship.
We're talking about different ship, but...
I know. This is perfect for you.
Yes.
Wow. The universe. Sometimes the universe aligns. Okay. So you had this experience. Now, I think it's really interesting. Lots of people know about your business now. You've done a fantastic job of marketing your business.
Thank you.
If people don't know about you, then they're just hiding under a rock. You've done a fantastic
That's really cool of you to say thank you.
And you've been around for how long now?
A little over a year.
Yeah, that's super exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, but there was kind of this inflection point. So you had this, which I think is really interesting. You just said you were the happiest mom. You were living in paradise. Was paradise... Yeah. Charleston?
Yes.
That's paradise?
Charleston is paradise.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
I've only spent one day in Charleston.
In the city? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It wasn't paradise to you.
Well, no, I thought it was amazing because we were sitting on the water at this restaurant and I'm looking out across at this fort and I'm thinking like, wow, that has to be significant somehow.
Yeah.
And then I asked the waiter, hey, what is that?
Yeah.
He says, that's Fort Sumter.
Yeah.
It's like, wait.
Whoa, yeah.
That's
it's just
Fort
right
Sumter.
there.
It's
right. You can go to it. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But I think it's a bird sanctuary now.
I mean, I don't know,
Or
but I have been, they do tours. Yeah. Cause I've been there. I've taken the ferry to Fort Sumter. So yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're living in paradise in Charleston.
Yes.
You're the happiest mom of all time.
Truly. Yeah.
Love being a mom.
Love it.
But things turned.
They did, which is a bummer.
Such a bummer.
Yeah. So had my first, and I actually was terrified of being a mom. Like it was never something that I really, like I had been kind of trained through my childhood that that's what I was supposed to be, right? But it was never like, oh yeah, that's what I really want. So I didn't want to have kids till I felt like I wanted to. And I had my little boy and I was just like, I love this. Like this is so, like he's perfect. Like everything about him was like, I love him. Like, oh, it's the best. So I was like, I could have another one, you know? So when he was 2.5, we got pregnant with our little girl. And I was still, pregnancy wasn't awful for me, but it wasn't great. It was just like, meh. Still super excited, right? Go into labor and I had a nurse anesthetist who punctured my spine with the epidural. But it was more severe than that because she tried to cover up her mistake by placing the needle more into the puncture she had already placed. So it just caused basically my cerebral fluid to all leak out. It was terrible. And I'm in labor. So I have to then also give birth. And the epidural didn't work. So it was a lot of pain and trauma. I feel like I was hospitalized for 5 days, but it just kind of spiraled into this depression that I started to just sink into because I was in constant pain. I had migraines all the time. It took me 3 weeks to be able to stand up and walk. Like it was just a whole thing. And I could not connect with my baby girl either. I couldn't see her. The only time I would see her, I would be in bed and I would feed her and then I'd hand her back off, right? It was very like mechanical. And people were coming. We didn't have family that lived near us in Charleston. So my mom was constantly flying out to help because my husband was back at work. I have these 2 kids now. And I just was honestly a robot of a human and just like, when you feel that joy, right? Like that complete joy, and then it's just like gone, like it's just gone. It's like, well, is it even possible to get it back? Do I even have enough fight in me to get it back? How do I get it back? Like, what am I? And it's just like this constant panic too, right? And so we decided, honestly, there were points where I was like, I'm done, right? I can't be alive like this. Like, no one should have to live like this. My kids shouldn't have to have a mom like this. My husband shouldn't have to be taking care of everyone. And my mom was just so like valuable in me being able to allow myself to start feeling, because that was a really hard part of it. And we decided, we've got to go actually move closer to her. She was in Utah. And then Jake, my husband's parents, were in Utah. And I tell you, this was the only way to get me back to Utah. Like, I was not going to move back to Utah. So I'm like looking at it now. I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks a lot. Like, that's how I had to get back to Utah. But that was the plan. We moved back to Utah, honestly, for me to recover, because we needed help. And it was a fight. It was the path to recovery was a daily battle, honestly. But the reason I wanted it so bad to come back, and I don't even know if I've come back to that version of myself because of so much that's happened, right? But to be able to get to the point of being that mom that just was like, oh, I just love it, right? Like, I love being a mom. And I wanted to be that for my daughter, because my son had gotten that version of me, but she wasn't getting that. And so it was like, you deserve that. Like, she deserves it. And so I would say it was 2 years of daily battle. And it got easier, right? Like, the 2 year was not as bad as like day one, right? But to get to that point of, okay, we're back in motion. Like, things are going. I can handle things again. I'm at a point where I'm really happy to be with my kids.
Well, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah. Sorry. Let's talk about something else. Taylor Swift.
Well, that is also heavy. Don't get me started on Taylor Swift. We're going to go though.
We will. Okay, we will go there.
We're going to get there.
We will go there.
And I don't know. It may send you back spiraling, the questions I have regarding
I'm ready
Taylor
to
Swift.
Defend at all costs.
Okay. Okay, so I am curious about how long ago was that experience?
3.5 years ago.
Okay, so I'm curious about, I think a lot of people probably go through this and don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to maybe give an opportunity to
talk about, honestly,
for
like
people who may be struggling with something.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess I'm just curious about your process, the things that you look back on and say, it was really helpful when I did this, or I wouldn't do that again. Just kind of a lessons learned to work through that. Yeah.
I go back to when it started happening, like when I could feel myself, like I had never really experienced depression before, or disassociation. I didn't know that was a real thing where you can actually, like, your brain, to protect you, like, removes you from your body in a sense. Like, you're just a robot, which is horrifying. Like, it's terrifying to experience that, and starting to experience it. I'm not very good at being vulnerable in front of people, like anyone. I'm like the kind of person that likes to make people laugh, and I don't want to be vulnerable or like hug. I'm not like that kind of person. And so I was bottling things up and just keeping it internal, right? And I got to the point where I was like, you kind of have a choice to make. And it's scary when you start to feel like, oh, like, I actually have no desire to be alive. Like, that's a really scary thought to have in your head, and to be like, that would kind of be a relief, right? And having those thoughts start coming into my head, I realized, okay, I kind of need to ask for help. And I think that's a really hard point to get to. It's really hard. I think it's hard for anyone to ask for help. I don't think anyone wants to be a burden on anyone, but it's coming to the realization that you need to find people that love you and you're not a burden, and they would rather you be happy and thriving than suffering. And so I remember I had a friend reach out to me. She texted me and was like, you just had your baby. Congratulations. Like, if there's anything I can do to help, like, let me know. And I said, honestly, if I knew like what I needed, like help, with, I would ask at this point. Like, that's all I said to her. I was like, if I knew what I needed, I would ask you, but I don't even know how to ask for help. And she was like, it was like a code to her. She was like, oh my gosh, are you depressed? Like, do you have postpartum depression? I have postpartum. Like, let's go on a walk. It was like, and we started going on like these bridge walks with her and another friend who had also experienced postpartum depression. And that, that made me see like, okay, you're not alone. You're not isolated in this, right? And it got me to get a little bit, I think, more courage to ask other people for help and to be more open with how I was feeling. I didn't want to put on like a facade when people would see me of like, I'm happy, I love being a mom. Like, oh yeah, it was because when people hear you went through a traumatic birthing experience, I would say that the thing they shouldn't say that they do say is, oh, but it was so worth it, wasn't it? And you're like, at that moment, I was like, no. Take it all away. None of it was like, right? I didn't want to have a facade of being like, yeah. So I would like warn people, like I would give them a heads up. Hey, I'm struggling. If like I'm not a happy person or I need to leave the room, it is not you. It's something I'm going through. Right. Getting therapy was super helpful. I didn't think it would be, but it was really helpful. So
were you reluctant to see a therapist?
I think I was more just like too tired to find one. If I'm being honest, I had never thought that therapy wasn't beneficial. My brother's a therapist and he was super helpful to me before I got my own therapist, right? But it was more like, I just don't want to go through this process of vetting someone who's actually going to be able to help me, right? Mm-hmm. It was more like that. And then when I found someone to talk to, the advice he would give me at first, I'd be like, that's so dumb. Like, honestly, I'd be like, that's not going to, he'd be like, you need to breathe. I was like, I am breathing. Like, how am I alive right now? Like things like breathing. And he introduced me. He's like, you got to go to yoga. Like, go do yoga, go get active. And I was like, it was so annoying because it was but it's simple.
And such good advice.
But it's so effective, right? So
sounds like another product I know.
Right. Simple and effective, just like yoga. So I think that like, I guess like to summarize that, if you are dealing with, especially moms dealing with postpartum depression, like you are not alone in that aspect. Unfortunately, it's a lot more common. Mm-hmm. And there are people that want to help you, right? Because they don't want you to feel that way. But you also, in knowing that you're asking for help, you cannot rush healing. It's not possible. Your body's going to let you work on healing when it's ready. And there are some moments where you just have to sit in it. Mm-hmm. It's like the ocean, right? With waves. Like you can't fight and crash against the waves. Sometimes you just got to go with the flow. And I think sometimes you just have to allow yourself to let that emotion pass and realize that it's not a permanent, no feeling or emotion is like a permanent part. We're always constantly going through like a wave of emotions daily. Mm-hmm. And so just let it flow, let it go through you. And I still have to do that, which has made, like, I have PTSD, a struggle from things that happen in the hospital. And there are moments where I will just trigger disassociation and I'll be talking to someone and I'm just like, oh, I am gone. But my body knows how to react. And it used to put me into a panic attack, right? Of like, get back. But now I just know it's not permanent. Just sit with it. And so I think we ask for help and we need to be accepting of those feelings we're feeling in that moment and know it'll pass. Yeah.
Well, I think the surrounding yourself with people who are compassionate mm-hmm. and have some experience with that. Yeah. One of the worst things, they did this study, one of the worst things that you can do to a human being is put them in isolation. If you really want to punish somebody, you put them in isolation. Yeah. And that seems to be the most difficult thing to manage. Yep. And I bet that's part of what you feel is like you're kind of alone. And you don't necessarily want to reach out to anybody.
No, because you don't want them to be burdened, especially if you don't know how they're supposed to help, right? You kind of, like, for me too, I'm just kind of like, well, I need to dictate this and like give them like a kind of like how I get my husband to do reels. I'm like, I have written the whole script for you and I've given you all your marks and every tone and it's the same thing. I'm like, I need to give you a script of how to help me. And when you don't have that, it's like, well, now I'm like literally putting this all on you
Now you're like ticked off.
Right.
You're not really helping me.
Right.
You're not following the script.
Yeah, I don't have it. So
you just need to go for a walk.
Right. Go do some breathing and yoga.
Go do some yoga.
Yep.
Well, it's a really interesting story.
Thanks.
I hate that you had to go through that, but
too.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that experience was at all beneficial in your life?
Yes, as like reluctant as I am to say that. I actually was thinking about that a lot this weekend, knowing I was going to come on this podcast. I was like, I feel like they're going to ask something about like, what shaped you, or what's like a big moment in your life, right? And I just keep thinking about that and going from like 0 to, where I am today. And I'm not saying that I'm at like this point of like, yeah, I've made it, but there is, I think, a new drive and grit that gave me that I didn't know I was capable of. So in tying to business and starting my business, I draw back on that experience a lot, and I am grateful for that. And I'm grateful to have empathy for that version of myself, right? It almost feels like a different person. That I just have learned to love and be like, wow, that was really hard and you did it. Like, good job. Like, we did it, right? And so there are moments in business that get really hard, right? But honestly, nothing has been as challenging as that. And I climbed out of that hole. And so I'm grateful for that, because there are experiences with motherhood right now that, I mean, my little boy, he's 6, he has autism, and there's a lot that we're dealing with in that aspect. But just drawing back from that experience and then being like, we got this, bud. Like, I know I can be that strength for you. And I know that I have experienced a low, so that if he ever experiences a low, there's an empathy now that I can have for him, or even my daughter, that I'm really grateful for, because I did not have that. I can tell you I did not have that before. I was the kind of person that's like, oh, if you're depressed, go for a run and like just shake it off. Like, I really was. I was like, get out there and you'll be fine.
That's still the advice I give today. Maybe I should.
Just get out there.
Seriously. Well, here's the thing. You were a competitive athlete.
Yes.
I was too.
Okay. Yep.
And so
that's kind of your mentality, right?
It's totally your mentality. Take 200 milligrams of suck it up.
Yep.
And
get it. Yeah.
That's exactly
right.
Yep. Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah. So I'm grateful to not be thinking that way anymore.
Well, I think that's really insightful that you've gained this empathy because of your experience. You've gained this empathy for what others may be going through, and specifically maybe your son.
Yeah.
Who's could have hard days.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
How has your athletics background helped you in your life and career?
Oh my gosh. I would say it's a huge part. I have always been just driven, right, for like success in kind of anything I do. And I would say that sports are a big part of that, and being with a team and like relying on others and relying on yourself. That's a lot of stuff that goes along in business too. Not that I have a business team yet, but hopefully when I do someday, I can draw on those opportunities, those moments in sports where, you have to work together as a unit in order to be the best team, right? There's not an individual that's going to like carry you unless you're Michael Jordan. But other than that, like you've got to work together. So
I'm so glad you said Michael Jordan. There's this running debate about Michael Jordan versus LeBron James.
I know.
And it's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's any question.
Yeah. I mean, if you got my husband in here right now, he'd be like, just so mad that you even mentioned the name LeBron James right now.
Well,
so
he and I are.
Yeah, there you go.
We should probably do a reel.
I know. Yes. I'll write the script.
Yes.
You guys just participate.
Well, you mentioned like this team aspect to athletics. I agree. That's one of the most valuable things that you learn is working with people and working with a team, and how much better you are. It drives me crazy when, members of a team call out their own individual accolades that they probably never would have achieved had it not been part of a team. And when you were going through this kind of dark period, you kind of had this team around you to help pull you out of it. So I'm really interested to see how you build a team around your business. Do you have plans to do that?
I mean, I try not to look too far ahead because I get overwhelmed. So I'm a very like, what's the next step? What's the next process? Of course, this is so embarrassing, but I will like visualize myself as like the CEO, like that has like people that she can like motivate and inspire, right? Yes. Like so embarrassing, like to be in the mirror and be like, you can do this. Like I want them, whoever works for me or works with me, I just want them to be motivated and so happy and to know how valuable, like, I feel that they are to me. So it's more like, who do I want? I always want people who are smarter than me, which is not hard to find, but that's who I always am thriving to even network with. So when I do get to that point where I can hire people, or I want them to know more than I do so that I can trust them with the job that I have given them and be there if they have, questions or want a little bit of an opinion. But other than that, like, do your thing.
Yeah.
So
what were some of the best qualities of your favorite teammates? You were a 2-time All-American, right?
Yes.
2-time All-American at Southern Virginia?
Yeah.
Yes. But am I doing this correctly? Did you finish at Southern Virginia or did you?
No, I actually finished at a small business school at Bryant University in Rhode Island.
Okay.
Yeah. My favorite teammates, honestly, I just loved my teammates that weren't individualists. Like they weren't, that is probably what everyone loves, right? But like, I feel like I played soccer. It's a very, it's a passing sport, right? You've got to pass the ball to get the ball forward. And there you have players that don't have that mentality and it's a very individual sport. And then you have the players that are like, let's move forward as a team. So I would say that players that were passing the ball, those were my favorite teammates, right? Like, it was just like, I feel like we're so in it with the same goal in mind, other than like our own personal glory. Our team is like winning, is that gratification and that success.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. Did you ever have the teammate who was pretty sure that she could score every time she touched the ball?
I don't know.
And it was like the black hole. You passed the ball into her and it was like, okay. We're never going to get it back.
Yeah, of course. Of course. But I don't know. It
wasn't you though, right?
It wasn't. No, if anything, I actually got in trouble from my coaches I was a forward and playing as a midfield mentality, right? Of passing.
Distribution.
Like, yes,
they were like,
I had them. Yes. No, really. It was like, stop handing the ball off. But I was like, yeah, have a better shot. So I would actually get in trouble more for passing too much and needed to have a little bit more of that individualistic, like get to the goal behavior.
There's a balance.
Right. But I don't think I ever had teammates that were like openly like arrogant about how good they were. But when they did get the ball, it's almost like it was like tunnel vision. Right. Mm-hmm. So I don't know that it was intentional, but there were tunnel vision players for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Well, culture is a thing. I think culture is something to really consider. And sometimes it feels like in business, you may have experienced this, who people consider the best player is sometimes culturally very difficult because it's like you said, this individualistic kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite? Do you still follow soccer?
No, I didn't actually really follow it even when I was playing it. I know that doesn't make sense.
It sounds really terrible.
I know, it kind of does. I would say Ted Lasso, that soccer show, I follow that. I love playing it so much that sometimes it was hard to watch because I just wanted to play. So I enjoy watching the sport, right? But it kind of makes me just like sad a little bit because I really miss it. Like I really want to be out there playing.
Do you not play anymore?
I don't. I actually tore my ACL last year playing indoor and
that was it.
Have retired since then. Have since retired.
Did you do the proper retirement ceremony?
No, what is that?
Last game, you leave your boots at midfield and walk away.
Oh man, I'll have to go walk into the indoor arena in Pleasant Grove, Linden, and just put my shoes out there.
You can use that for a reel.
There we
I think we just came up with it.
There's another one
right here.
I have so much content from this.
Just drop off your boots.
Yes.
And then head to the stand.
And change a diaper.
On to bigger and better things.
Yes.
Well, let's dive into your business.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it. You invited me.
Oh my! You know what? They consider me like the guy with all the puns around here, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep up today.
Not with the poop one.
No,
but, other than that,
I'm going to have to stretch outside of the box.
Yeah,
okay. I'm going to come up with something. Yes. Okay, so something ignited a fire.
Yeah.
In you to start this company.
Yeah, I would say it was two parts. The first one, when I had my baby girl at 5 weeks old, she was hospitalized from a UTI. I honestly didn't know how dangerous poop could be in babies. Like they don't have the immune systems that we have. And if that bacteria gets in the wrong places, it can enter their bloodstream. And it's fast. It moves fast. I was taught, like every other parent on the planet, that when you have a baby girl, you wipe from front to back, right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's all they tell you. There's more to it because poop gets in areas that are really hard to clean and it hides. And she was hospitalized for 5 days. And this is also while I'm as depressed as all can be, right? And I remember after we got her out of the hospital, I was talking to the pediatrician. I was like, what did I do wrong? Of course, I'm blaming myself. I'm like, what did I do wrong? And I showed her, like, this is how I'm cleaning her. And she's like, yeah, wipes aren't great. I was like, oh. Well, thank you for this news. She's like, you should be using water. You should give your baby a bath every time she poops. I was like, no. Great. That sounds like a good option if you can. But I was a working mom too. I had a job. I had a 2.5-year-old. Wasn't going to happen. So I had remembered using the spray bottle with my son and brought that back. Amazing. It worked. It was the best, right?
Yeah.
So my husband and I would just do a better job at trying to keep track of it, right? It was a pain in the ass, but we were able to manage it a little bit better. Then we moved to Utah, been in Utah for a year, and my little boy is diagnosed with autism. And that's a financial task when your child has special needs to get them the help that they need. It's expensive. And, I had gone from being a vet tech that, I loved my job. You don't make that much money. And I just thought, I've got to figure out something for my son to help my husband. He's working, right? I've got to be a help too. And, I had just kept pitching all these business ideas, right? I feel like on a daily basis, me and ChatGPT were like working together to try to like figure out what can I do to like earn some money. And my son, we had gotten him into a really good program that works with kids with autism, and he was 3.5 years old, still in diapers. And I remember he had come home from school, and he was crying. He couldn't really talk yet. He wasn't verbal. And I go to change his diaper. His bum's all red, and he has little poop flakes still stuck to his bum. And I wasn't even mad. I felt sorry for the technicians that have to change all these diapers, right? With just baby wipes. And I just thought, oh, holy crap. If I were able to just give them this product, like develop a way to have that spritz of water, right? Yes. This wouldn't have happened. So I would say that was the moment where I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to test this. I'm not just going to dive into a business, right? I'm going to see if this is helpful to other moms before I'm just like, I'm going to go all in, right? And I started reaching out to moms. I think I surveyed about 40 different moms that were willing to let me just send them an email survey about frustrations with baby wipes. Had they ever tried cleaning with water? Would they ever be open to cleaning with water? What would be the requirement if they were going to continue to do that? And a lot of it aligned with, whoa, I'd never thought about that. That sounds amazing, but it needs to travel well. And I don't want another thing to think about. So, and I was like, same, we're on the same page.
All aligned.
We're all aligned. So then I was like, you know what? I listened to How I Built This religiously always. I just love that podcast. And learning about the importance of building a brand was super, it has always been an important highlight. I feel like with business owners of your brand matters. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, I don't even have a product. I kind of have an idea, but I want to start connecting with my potential customers.
Are you making these up as we go?
Kind of. My daily job is poop, so it's just always on my mind.
Always there.
It's always there.
Before, don't forget where you're tracking.
Okay.
I have a couple questions leading up to that.
Yeah.
One is, okay, so your son came home from program and he was not.
He wasn't. No, he still had poop. It wasn't like right. It's not like they didn't try. I could tell the.
It wasn't like they didn't give a ship. Maybe they just didn't.
Gosh.
The right equipment.
That was the best. That wins. I've
been holding on to that for a while.
Good. And I'm so glad that you finally felt like the right opportunity came for you to say that. But no.
I'll come up with another.
Yeah, they definitely tried, right? But there was still some poop on the behind, which is gross.
Yeah,
it's gross.
Yeah, but we all do that. As parents, you all have that. We all have that experience where you're out and there's a diaper and then you get home that night and you're like, oh my gosh, what happened?
Right. Or you
didn't do anything.
You thought it was a wet diaper, right? There's those sneaky poops that for some reason don't stink. And then you don't know how long they have been sitting in that. And you open the diaper and those wipes are not, and their butt is already red, right? And rashy because they've had poop cake to it. And you feel terrible because the wipes are not getting that off. Mm-mm. Water will, but the wipes will not. Mm-hmm. Yes.
As you were going through all of these iterations of business ideas, do you remember any of those ideas? And what can you share some of those?
So I was a cosmetologist.
When
I was in high school, I got my cosmetology license as a senior in high school.
Gotcha. And then you became a vet.
Then I went to school, graduated, had a dream of being in radio, and then worked in corporate world. That didn't have to do with radio. It's hard to get into radio. You need connections. I didn't have those. Mm-hmm. Hated corporate, what I was doing, and had always loved animals, had a vet office across the street from my house and thought, why not give it a try? And worked hard to become a vet tech. One of my ideas it was because of COVID, I had always had people asking me, how do I cut my kids' hair? Like it's, just all the time wanting me to consult them on haircuts, right? And I was like, I should start like a haircutting consulting business that I just go to people's homes, teach them how to do a basic haircut. Yeah. They pay me and then I move on. Yeah. Right. So that was an idea, but it was like, that wouldn't be fun for me. I don't want to do that. So, that's one that I can remember. I'm sure there were many terrible ideas.
That's pretty good.
And I just remember always my husband he tries to be so nice and supportive, but I can read him like a book, right? So it would be like I'd tell him something and he'd be like, oh, that's and I'd be like, hey, that's a no. Move on to the next.
I think that one has potential.
That's interesting, Lora. That's interesting.
Let's dig into
that one. Yes. Yeah.
But nowhere.
His reaction is actually why the baby bidet is what it is now, because I had I would say it was an idea that I didn't even like for the start of what it was going to be to what it turned into.
Is this pre or post doing the 40 mom survey?
So I did the survey and then
you were like, I still don't like this idea?
No, I loved the idea. What I had started to come up with was something that was way more complicated. I was and more expensive to even get started, right? Mm-hmm. It was going to be a huge investment, and with our finances, that just didn't make sense. And I had a part-time job at the time. I was working for my brother-in-law who builds algorithms for the foreign exchange market. So I was doing email stuff for him. So that's the money we had. I was making $500 a month. Like that's the money we had to go into building a business, right? And my idea was to develop this baby wipes dispenser that had like this mold that you like could put a spray bottle in. So you'd have to take your wipes out.
And put them in this.
And so I'd started with that. And I actually, that was my idea that I started Instagram with. Like when I went on, started to build a small following, right? And trying to take surveys. And I was like, everyone loves the idea of water being a part of the baby wipes, right? That's what we could all agree on kind of as a community of moms. But every time I had to get like a 3D rendering done, right? And I was starting to reach out to manufacturers and I was like, this is going to cost you $40,000 to even get off the grid because we got to build the mold. We've got to you've got to get enough quantity in there. Like there was so much to go with it. I was like, well, okay, do we invest in this? But I was like, I actually wouldn't buy this. Like, because I don't use a wipes dispenser. I use the freaking package that they come in. Like, I cannot be bothered to take them out and put them in a new dispenser.
So inefficient.
Yes. Like,
there are some moms who would do that, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I have friends that will do that. And I'm like, I'm happy that you have that mental capacity to do. I don't have that. I wish I did. I don't. I'm the most unorganized mom on planet Earth. It has to be done differently. And I remember I had actually found a way to sew this wipes dispenser, right? Like, because I was like, I can't afford, and I need to test this. Like, I need to figure out how to test that people will even buy it. And so I had sewn it, but there were so many problems with it because baby wipes are wet. You can't just use, anyways. My husband was always kind of like, yeah, sounds good, Lora, but I could never get out of him. Like, what is the problem? I was like, I know there's a problem. Give me please just tell me what you think. And he was like, listen, like the spray bottle idea. He's like, that's great. That's amazing. That works. He's like, the rest of this is way too complicated. He's like, that's crazy. Like, that's too I'm like, yes, I agree. Like, we're on the same page. So I remember we spoke for like 4 hours after we had gotten our kids to bed of just like going back and forth of how is this even possible? Like, what are we going to do? And I remember getting onto my Instagram stories at like 1 a.m., being exhausted and being like, you guys, I know that we have had like this journey, me and my 200 followers. I know that we have had this journey. We're in this and I have said I'm going to do this, but I got to pivot. I was like, I need to do a survey and I need you guys to respond. I was like, please, anyone who sees this, respond. Do you use baby wipes dispensers or do you just use the pack of wipes? And actually, I did have 200 people respond. Wow. Only one used a wipes dispenser. And I was like, okay, we need to pivot.
And then did you kick her out of the group?
We're no longer talking. It's like, you can't sit with us. I pivoted and I just remember, I'm not crafty. I don't know how to sew. But I was like, I am going to figure out a way to just make this all go together. And I remember I had a mom reach out to me. She's like, could you please, I will buy this if you implement the viral rubber band hack. Have you heard of that?
The viral
rubber band hack.
Band hack? I've never heard of this.
Okay. So 2 years ago, actually longer. What time am I in? 3 years ago, 4 years ago, there was a mom that was like, listen, when you pull baby wipes out, 10 come out at a time. And it's so frustrating, right? It is like you're sitting here and you're just waving this ribbon of wipes around that you don't need. And it's such a waste. And she was like, if you put a rubber band around your baby wipes, one wipe comes out at a time. And people went crazy. And it's true.
That's a thing?
Yes. And I actually talked to an engineer. I was like, I need to understand this if I'm going to make this a part of my product.
Yeah.
And she said that because you are constantly putting pressure, the compression, there's no air. It makes it so only one wipe comes out. So I was like, not only do I need to figure out how to make it so your spray bottle is hanging onto your wipes at all costs, right? You can chuck this thing across the room, and I have tested that, and you can.
Or across Disneyland.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
You're on a ride, and you don't want to lose your spot in line, but someone needs
chuck that thing. You better chuck that thing to get that poop clean. That rhymes. So that was like an essential part of what people wanted. And I had to get the right fabric. I was like, it's got to be, I know nothing about fabric. So my mom and I would go to the craft store and
Did your mom know stuff about fabric?
She knew more. Yes. Okay. Yes. And we found this fabric called neoprene. Like the scuba suit fabric. It's waterproof. It's durable. It's amazing. Like, honestly, it's amazing. but it is very complicated to sew. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I hadn't known yet how I was even going to do this. So I had been like, I first started sewing like these little mini backpacks. Like they had like 2 straps. I was like, it would look like a cute little backpack. It was pretty cute. It wasn't practical because another aspect, everything had to be done with one hand because you're holding your baby down, right? Yeah. Or your ninja 10-month-old that's roly-poling all over the place. You need a hand to hold the baby, and then you need one hand to be able to do everything else. So that wasn't practical. I couldn't have like a lid, right? And so it had to be able to be stretchy and contain. And I remember looking at like chapstick holders.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what I need. It needs to be a chapstick, like for your spray bottle.
Yeah, that was the inspiration.
So yes.
Wow.
And then I was like, okay, I'm going to try to sew these. And so I started sewing those, and then I was like, well, how do I make it so it can like adjust? So I was looking at different like elastic. I was like, how is this going to be? And I remember there's one day I was like sewing, and I was wearing these shorts that had like a drawstring with a cord lock. And I was like, they're kind of falling down. And I like go to pull them tighter, and I was just like, no, this is what I need. And that is how it all came together. Very inspiring. But the coolest story you've ever heard of how a product came together. But that's literally, there were these little aha moments. I was like,
all along the way.
Isn't that crazy?
It's so crazy.
But yeah. And so this simple product, although it is like such, you look at it and you're like, this is so simple. There's a lot of elements that went into it that I was like, I need it to be simple for you to use. So there's complexity in the design to allow that simplicity.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
So what has adoption been like? I mean, you come out now, so I think we're skipping lots of parts of the stories, but you've gone through all of these things, and now you've come up with the ideal product in a neoprene case and the drawstring. There's a keychain because some moms just wanted to clip it onto their diaper bags. So there's that for you too, if you don't want it to go around your baby wipes. There was the spray bottle aspect, right? I'm not going to invent a spray bottle. That's invented, right? But it was finding the right one. And so I would buy tons of spray bottles and have moms test. And pretty much every single one landed on the one that me and my team. You and your team.
Me and my team of 2, number 2. We manufacture to this day. It needed to be cap free. I didn't want it to be a choking hazard. Flat top, so it's not leaking. And it needed to be, it cannot startle your baby, right? It can't be this like projection of water that's going to just like shock them. That's not fair.
A jet stream.
Right. So, and you don't want this puddle of poop forming underneath them as it drips down. Like, so there's like I said, lots of thought went into this. And so this is like, it's a light mist that does the job.
Yeah.
So the spray bottle was a big part of it too.
That's amazing. Okay. So did it take off immediately? Like, what was the adoption like?
So like I said, could not go into debt at all for this. I had to be profitable from day one. Like that was my goal. That's what I aspired for my family. Like that was like non-negotiable, not spending money on this that's going to hurt us. And so that's why it was so important for me to figure out how to make it myself before going to manufacturers. And I sold it on Etsy. So I would make about 20 of them and I would sell out. And so then I'd be like, all right, I'm going to make another more. And then I would sell out and I was like, hey, this is proof of concept. Because I'm selling to people that aren't family. That was really important to me. It was like, I don't want to just be selling to people who are like, yeah, Laura, we'll buy your product. Like, I didn't want to know them. I wanted
take 2.
Right. I wanted strangers. So while I had a mix, right, it was exciting to get people from like New York. And I'd be like, what? Someone from New York is buying it on Etsy. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So the next step was, let me take it to a farmer's market, right? So I'm going to make a bunch of these and see if I can sell to people, which that is not my strong suit. Like
selling
to people, like face to face.
What are you talking about? This is
so uncomfortable.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, this is your strength, like communicating with people.
When I'm trying to get you to buy something, though, my ability to hone into every micro emotion or social cue you're giving me that you're uncomfortable, like I can focus in on that way too well. So people don't like to be sold to, right? They instantly put up a wall, and I can sense that immediately, and it makes me feel like I retract. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I feel so bad for making it. So, yeah. So going to farmers markets were hard. It was hard, but we did great. Sold a lot. I dressed up as the turd fairy. I bippity boppity pooped and got more people to our booth. Like, that was really important for me to try to have fun in a really uncomfortable situation.
Is that's your default, right?
Yes, absolutely my default. Did really well in that. Those were all my tests of like, I'm going to test before I go all in, because
I'm so sorry. I had a total miss there. Total miss. I should have said it was your default.
Your doo-doo.
Fault. Yeah. But then I said a default.
Duty.
See, this is what's happened now. You have me thinking of all the ways that I could make like a poop pun.
I'm so happy I have.
And then I'm cutting off
your like poop into the brain. This virus. Join
terrible.
Me.
The rest of the day at work, I'm going to be doing this to people, and they're.
You're like, all right, team, let's do this.
Yeah.
I need your number 2 best idea. Get rid of the number 1. Yes, please write them all down and then send them to me.
I'm going to. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, we're back at the farmer's market. I'm so sorry.
It was Highland Days and Alpine Days. So it was like the city days that I did.
Did you, when you said you dressed up as the turd fairy, were you just out, did you dress up and then you were out going trying to get people to your booth, or were you in character at your booth?
I was in my booth. So I had like a black tutu on, and then I had a shirt made that said, the baby bidet, handling every sticky situation. And then I had like poop emojis everywhere in my booth. And then I had a little poop wand, like emoji. And so people would come in, and it was kind of a way to like break the ice of like, I know you're uncomfortable coming in, talking. Like, it's kind of awkward. Just like when you want to go look at people's booths, you kind of don't want to talk to people, I know, right?
It is the most awkward.
Yeah. And I know that because I feel that discomfort. So it's kind of like, listen, I'm being silly in here. Like, this has to deal with baby poop. And there we go. Like, I'm the turd fairy. And like, kids would come in I had a couple kids want to take pictures with the turd fairy, even though I didn't, like, there was nothing really that like, it's not like I dressed up as a giant turd, but it was more like, and my sister was in the booth with me, and we would just be really loud and like cheer for people. We would have little rallies going on. Like, we just try to make it fun, and it went well. Yeah.
That's the way.
But I'll never do it again. It was exhausting.
Did you do? Yeah, it is exhausting.
It's exhausting. Yeah.
That's a day that you go home and you're just like,
wow. Yeah.
Wiped out. So when you're hosting people in your booth, did anybody come up with a child and say, hey, can we do like a demo here?
You know what? That was something that we were trying to figure out how we could fit that in. Like, it really, like, we were trying to get, like, we had our diaper changing station for our own daughter. And it was just kind of like, I don't know if that makes sense to have people changing diapers while other people might be trying to get a gift. So I had little oranges out that we drew butts on, and Nutella, and people could test it with that.
Was that effective?
Yeah. Yeah, because there were some people that were like, there's no way like that would actually make that big of a difference. And then they would be shocked at, you know, it's like, try it with the wipe, see how long it takes, even how hard you have to push. All right. There's a difference in even just like pressure and how hard, like, and think about your baby's sensitive skin. Like, their skin is 30% thinner than ours. So all that pressure, all that wiping is not beneficial to them. Wow. So yeah, most of the time, well, actually every time it was like, oh, whoa. Okay, that makes a big difference. I didn't think it would. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, like, where are you now in terms of your business? You're not selling 28 at a time on Etsy anymore.
No, I'm not. I'm no longer making them.
And you're no longer making them.
December will be the year mark. Actually, December 20th, I believe, will be the year mark of having it manufactured. So which is amazing. And now I'm at the point where like all my package, I had to assemble it. So I still had to like manufacture the spray bottles separately, get the pouches, and then assemble the spray bottles, put it into the bag, get my little like card that taught them how to use it. And now it's like all packaged. So I have everything designed. It all comes to me. I just plop it into its package and send it on its way. So we're at that point, which is so awesome. I wanted to build this business to be significant, like have a significant amount of profit for me that I could feel comfortable spending money on ads. We started spending money on ads for the first time in July, and we've seen great growth from that, just using Meta. I still am posting on my own social media 4 times a day, right? All the time.
Is it that often?
It is.
I mean, there's a lot of content. There's a lot of content that you don't see because I use trial reels. So I'm a big advocate of using trial reels, testing your content, and selling like crazy to people who aren't following your account, right? It's such an awesome thing that you can take and use in your business. Yeah. Tell us, okay, well, I want to talk about how you've built your content. I think that's really, it has to take up a significant portion of your time. Maybe it doesn't, but it feels like there's a lot of stuff. You're putting out a lot of stuff. And I want to talk about some of the lessons that you've learned building a business over the last year and what you're going to do in the future. But maybe this should be the time where we start talking about Taylor Swift.
Maybe.
Do you think?
Should we take a Taylor Swift break? Yeah. I think I need to hear what you need to say. And then I think I'm about to defend her.
Here's what I am going to say.
Yes.
Travis Kelce put Taylor Swift on the map.
You know what? I am a huge Travis Kelce fan. So you can't you can say that and I'll be happy.
That wasn't even offensive?
No, because I was a big Chiefs fan before Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce became an item. But I do feel like I'm the one that manifested that into the universe. Like I should be invited to their wedding. 100%.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, if they have kids, you have a perfect gift.
Oh, yeah.
To send along.
They will be getting the baby bidet.
You could maybe do like a special.
Maybe she'll write a song.
She'll probably write a song. She'll probably. If she
this
has
is how we do it.
If she has a bad experience, if she has a bad experience cleaning up a baby, she's going to write a song about it.
Absolutely.
She's all about trauma in her life.
Yeah. So I guess we can only hope that changing diapers is horrible for her. So she needs it to be better. That's what we hope for you, Taylor. Hope you have a really shitty experience changing poop.
Who's going to be the diaper changer in that relationship?
Okay, honestly, this is weird that I've thought about this. Do A-listers change poopy diapers?
I sure hope so.
Do you think? Because I feel like they have hired people to do that.
No, to do that.
To do that, yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Yes,
have you ever heard an A-lister talking about diaper changes? I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe they just have their nanny.
Angelina Jolie. Don't you think Angelina Jolie has changed all those kids' diapers?
Honestly, I don't. And so that's why I would like an A-lister to please come out and tell us, I also am like you and have changed poopy diapers.
Dolly Parton, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you consider her an A-lister, but.
Yeah, she's an A-lister.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wouldn't? Meghan Markle wouldn't.
She probably not. Probably has a staff
no way. She's
on hand to change. Yeah. Get in here. Do this.
Here's a spray bottle.
Yep. Clean the poop.
Yeah. I think there's maybe one Taylor Swift song that I would listen to regularly.
Okay.
What am I missing?
What's the song?
I don't know what it's called.
Then let's go ahead and drop a beat and hear you sing it today.
I would say it's kind of whimsical. I know the album cover. It's like the back of her head. She has a braid. And
Folklore. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's cool. That's a good album. So that would make sense that if you're, here's the thing. With Taylor Swift, I think that people most people that know me know that I love her. I love her music, but I don't love all her music, right? I'm not like a Swiftie in the sense that anything she can put out there, boom, music. I do love her music. There's a lot of songs that speak to me and can relate to what I'm going through in my life. And I think that's what she does a really good job of, is emotionally connecting to her fans. Mm-hmm. I am so inspired by her. I think just her ability to do the impossible, right? The impossible. I don't know. That was a stretch. But she has started from a 15-year-old, right? This fame where I would say that most celebrities can't even get past, right? Without having a lot of tragedy happen in their life and kind of ruining their life, flipping it over until they maybe come out of it. But we don't really see that with Taylor Swift. And not only that, her business mindset is just crazy. Like her ability to just think up these things and then to make it explode. Like she's such a powerful businesswoman. And so I think there are all these aspects of her that people should look at that go beyond just the music. And that's why I am such a big Taylor Swift fan, because I feel like she lets you kind of believe in these impossible moments where you think, oh, that's not humanly possible. I couldn't personally do that. And then you look at her and you're like, that's a human, right? Like she's a human, she's a female. Like she has found ways to overcome these obstacles and then to rise above them in such a great way that like truly does inspire me about her. And so I think that if people hate her music, like, that's fine. Like, but for people to not think that she has done some pretty impressive things, that's where I'm like, oh, let's change your mind about that, because she is an impressive human being.
No doubt.
Yes.
I couldn't agree more. Perfect. And by the way, I don't hate her music. I'm just indifferent.
Right. And I think that's
her music.
I think that's fine.
Yeah. That's all. So don't.
Yeah. No, I am totally like, my siblings are that way. My own blood is like, yeah, she's fine. Lora.
Yeah, she's okay.
Yeah, Lora. Great.
Well,
we're jamming to her music again.
I only know this because Tess was in here earlier. Yeah. She pointed out.
She recognized the sweater.
And tell me about this sweater.
I mean, okay, I just learned after she released her I'm not that good of a Swiftie, but I learned that she has her own like Taylor Swift shop, right? Her own merch store.
Oh, yeah.
Where she sells like her vinyls and her CDs. And she posted something on her stories of like this sweater, and I was like, it's fall and I don't have a Taylor Swift sweater, and I need that. Like I need it. And so I went on and listen, it gets recognized. Like I go out and people who are Taylor Swift fans, just like Tess, you're wearing the Taylor Swift sweater. I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm embodying her power.
Wow.
And her business smarts.
Clearly she's been an inspiration.
Yes, definitely.
How would you say, what kind of inspiration can you draw from her and what you're doing today?
I think that a lot of drawing from her actually did start. I mean, I've always been like a pretty big fan just of the way she like carries herself in interviews and is able to just like go big with anything she does. But when I did start a business, if you go to my Instagram account, you will see quite a bit of viral content and putting myself out there, right? That comes with a lot of trolls. I would say the more viral you go, the more hate you get. And that was something that was very hard for me at first, was having strangers just nitpick at me or things that I was saying or the way I look, just like a lot of things. And realizing, I've watched documentaries of Taylor where she talks about people just hating her, right? And I'm like, how can you hate? Like, it kind of just makes more sense of like, if people can hate someone of that success and that like stature, like, of course they're going to hate on me too, right? And it kind of just makes it seem like you're not in it alone. Not comparing myself to any level of Taylor Swift, but I do get mean comments, and her being able to kind of rise above that. And she spoke on a podcast with Travis Kelce. I don't know if you listen to the New Heights podcast, the Kelce brothers do. But she was a guest on it, and she talked about not giving your energy to people, like treat it as if it is your highest asset and it's currency, right? And people need to pay to have your energy, right? And so not letting trolls or people that hate you, not letting them take your energy, because that is worth something. And so I think when she says things like that, and I kind of feel defeated in those moments of like, people hate me. They think I'm dumb. Like they feel bad for my husband. You don't know how many times I get told that. This poor guy.
What?
Yeah. I know. So it kind of makes it a little bit lighter for me to know that, oh, someone like her gets hated too. We're all being hated together. And isn't that fun? So,
well, I think there's something to that. I mean, especially if people are not being very generous about how they comment on something that you're doing,
right?
Or try to tear something down. I think we all can be affected by that, and I think that's absolutely one of the amazing things. I would agree with that about Taylor Swift and a lot of famous people. Some don't manage it very well,
no,
and they get into but the ability to rise above.
Or write a song about it, right? I think, right? Like there's an outlet, and there are times where I will create a reel about it, right? Like I'll have a troll. I remember I had a reel that someone told me UTIs are fake and I'm lying, right? And it was just like, all right, boom, I'm going to post this comment and we're going to have fun with this, right? And I called them a silly Billy. Like it wasn't about being mean to them, but it was more like, let's address this, you little silly Billy goofball. And so there's kind of a way to kind of make light or kind of take control of the narrative when someone does try to put you in your place or spew things at you that you're like, that's not even close to the kind of person I am. So let's have fun with this.
Yeah. Well, and it's probably something that you have to do to continue moving on. Like you can't let the negativity.
Yeah. I remember the first time I went viral and it was just like mean, right? I was talking about, I didn't know poop could go in your, like where it would go when you have a baby girl, right? I didn't know. Like that was shocking to me the first diaper. And it was like, you should never have been a mom. Like, how could you not know this? Like, do you clean yourself? I'm like, well, I don't sit in a diaper. So this is different. It was just like attack on like, you're a terrible mom, terrible mom, terrible mom, terrible mom. And I remember just being like to Jake, like, I can't do this. Like they hate me. My idea is so dumb. Like, oh my gosh. And he'd be like, yeah, I can't believe people are saying that. Like, this is just terrible. But to be honest, you just kind of start to get used to it. And it doesn't really, I kind of am grateful for my trolls at this point because they make me money. They don't realize they're making me money, but they make me money because they spread my content to the people that are going to see value in it. And so it's almost now like I get to the point where I'm excited for a controversial comment, right? Like I get that comment and I'm like, here we go. Because then someone else is going to come on and say, no, you're a moron. And then someone else is going to come and they just like dance puppets. Like that's kind of how you have to treat it in order to have a little bit more of control of the fear of what people are going to start saying about you is like, what's the positive from this? I am now going to be able to pay for my son's school today. So thank you.
How about that? Well, you've consciously thought about marketing this brand and using social media to do that. So when did you decide that was the right thing to do? And where do you come up with all of this content?
So I am so obsessed with the marketing team of Liquid Death. Have you heard of this brand, Liquid Death? Who hasn't?
Do I have? Yeah.
Yeah.
I regularly, it's become the preferred drink in our household.
It is the way, and I wish I remembered the founder's name, and I feel bad that I don't, but the way that he started this business, I remember listening to a podcast about him and his desire to just stand out. And he almost, I feel like Liquid Death does not have customers. I feel like they have fans. And there are celebrities that want to be associated with this. And I follow their account and I'm constantly trying to learn from, I'm not going to take what they do because that's not necessarily me, but it's more like this guy developed this business because first of all, he was in marketing, but he had so many limitations and rules to how he was supposed to market things. So he decided I'm going to create my own product so that I can market it and do it the exact way that I want to do it. And I think that for me, it was like, I am starting this business, but I want to make sure that I'm having fun while I'm doing this. So many people that I talk to, so many entrepreneurs, when I talk to them, they're like, I do not know how you're doing social media. I hate social media. It sucks. I'm like, yeah, it totally does. But honestly, it's your best asset right now. So you better figure out how you're going to want to use it. And for me, being authentic and honest, that's usually when things land the best. And I have a weird sense of humor and I like to add that. And sometimes it lands and sometimes it crashes and burns, but it doesn't really matter. And so content, because I am a mom and I do have the life of parenting, and I have a husband, right? So there's a lot of humor that comes into that life, right? And I think you have to look at things in that lens of let's find the comedy in this situation so that we're not bogged down by the seriousness of it. And so I try to think of those moments where I'm in, a lot of the times it's like my husband and I are in this spot of like, oh my gosh, like this day. I'm like, how can we make humor out of this? And that's kind of where those reels start just kind of, so I'm just constantly have content going in my brain because I'm constantly living it. So that's how it gets made.
How much time does that take you? Have you become just so good at it that you can?
I think because I don't worry about how perfect it is. It's in my brain all the time. I tell people, I joke, I think in reels now. I'm just kind of like, where's the humor in this? Where's the sincerity? Where's the moment? And I'm the kind of person too that once something's in my brain, like we have to get it done now. Like we have to do it. Like yesterday, my husband and I made a reel because I had just thought of something. We're kind of doing this campaign right now that diaper changing is daddy's job. Yeah. And there's one that we did that went really well where we're like playing rock, paper, scissors, and he just shouts no at the camera. Like, you don't let her change poopy diapers. So I was like, let's kind of roll with this of how can we shock people in, constantly praising these dads who are taking on the number twos. And I was like, let's hit me in the face with a soccer ball. So let's go to, it was kind of like that fast.
Throw you off the screen.
Right. Let's just hit me in the face. Jake, I'm going to be changing a poopy diaper. You have taken this role seriously. You hit me in the face. It hurt like that. I'm like, I had a headache all day, but it was worth it. But Jake knows that once I start saying I have this idea, it's like, okay, we're going to go film this. But I will tell you that took us about 5 minutes, right? That whole setup took us about 5 minutes.
I know you have a massive team around you, but your team doesn't do that.
Right. They're not helpful in the editing. And, I ask them to do it and they're like, nah.
No, I have other things to do.
They're busy with all the other parts that I take on this one, the editing, the filming, the script writing.
You know what? I like a founder who is engaged in the business, just like you are.
Yeah.
You know what? You take some weight off your team.
I do.
That's
a lot of it. Yes.
That's what leaders do.
But that's why I make the most money.
That's
my
why
team doesn't make very much.
Not number two.
Not number two.
You're number
I'm not
one.
the number two position.
How has that impacted your business?
The content or
all of your content?
I think that's why it is where it is. I mean, truly, I hit my first 6 figures in less than a year and had profit, right? That's a really exciting, I mean, it may not be that big of a deal, but to me, it was really exciting. And to be able to pay for my patent, like to get that process done outright, right? Like all these moments, because I utilized Instagram. So I've just started to tap into, TikTok, YouTube. There's other elements too that I'm trying to grow on because I really wanted to do well at one aspect. And it's been a success to me. I can't afford influencers, right? They're really expensive. And you don't know what you're going to get. So I said, I'm going to become one, right?
The influencer,
right? That was what my goal was. Starting with 200 followers, it was like, all right, I can't afford. I had one woman who was an influencer say I needed to pay her $9,000 to do a story. And I was like, do you know how many of these I would have to sell? This is a $15 product to make $9,000 back. So I was like, I have to do content. So it has been essential to the growth. And then even with ads, we're able to look at a lot of creative, and this I can say because my sister, who is a VP of marketing for another company, this is what she does, is Meta Ads. I have given her, right, here's the budget, do what you must, right? You are much better at this than me. You know exactly what you're doing. Let's test. But for her, she says, because you have so many creatives, you have so many reels that we can test because they've gone viral on their own. It is extremely helpful to be able to now test quality ads that will start getting sales. So the content has been huge. It's been a big part of the success.
Can anybody do it?
Yes.
Do you think there's... You think that's true? You think there's a myth?
That not everybody wants to.
Like you have a unique ability to communicate in that way.
That's nice of you.
It's not a strength of everybody.
It's funny because I don't see myself as that way, right? I just see myself as this goofball who's like willing to kind of take risks. And I think that it's important. When I first started, there was a lot of like my account, there was a lot of me trying to be like other people. It's making it like the beautiful aesthetic, like look at these pictures and everything's so organized. It's all in the same filter and the same tone. That is not me at all. Like if you go to my house, like nothing makes sense to where it is. I'm the kind of woman that leaves all the cupboards open all the time. Like it's just chaos. And once I decided I'm just going to be myself and make this work for me, that's when, things started to hit. It doesn't always, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that if people can figure out how to just do it in a way that is comfortable for them, viewers, people scrolling, they really like authentic. I think everyone can kind of read through the bullshit instantly. And like we've all been really trained to see that because we're constantly scrolling. And so I feel like anyone can really make an impact on social media. It may not be, the amount that I've grown to, as fast, but also I am crazy and constantly thinking in reels, right? So that while that is a strength of mine, there are other strengths, but I do think if you are starting a business, you should absolutely be utilizing this free space that lets you actually test if you have a customer without spending money.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you had any feedback from people? You were talking about like Liquid Death, and so they have fans. Mm-hmm. They don't have people who buy the product or whatever. But and so I feel like that with some particular brands, like you feel aligned, mm-hmm. and so you're going to go out of your way to purchase that brand. Mm-hmm. But I also feel the same way about other brands, right, where their messaging, I do not align.
Totally. Yeah.
And so how do you walk that? Because you want as many rear ends as you can.
I need all the baby booties so that they can get clean and parents can be happy.
Yes.
Oh, crappy day. It'll just be better for everyone, better for the environment. It's all around better to use water. So how do I kind of balance?
How do you align? Like, how do you align with everybody? It's maybe it's just a universal thing, but
yeah. Not everyone is gonna love my product, right? Not everyone that uses it is gonna be like, yeah, I really needed that. Maybe they have their baby's poops are just the cleanest, easiest thing ever, right? Some parents are blessed with that. Mm. I'm trying to focus. Before, when I started, it was a very broad, like, how can I reach everyone? How can I focus? And I read this book called The Purple Cow. Mm-hmm. You heard of that? Mm-hmm. And he mentions, your customers are like who you should be focusing on, right? And that's who you should really be. They are invested in you, so you should be invested in them. And that's what I try to do. I call them my poopsies. I really do. And because they're not customers to me, like, they're more than that. I have people reach out to me, and I love connecting. And right now, that's the benefit of being a small business, is when my customers reach out to me, they're getting me, right? Mm-hmm. And when they reach out to me on Instagram, I try to be so fast to reply, because I've reached out to those big accounts, but I mean, my account's 40,000. So it's not like massive, right? But it's a significant number of people. But I've reached out to accounts, and it's like, they can't be bothered, right? And I don't want people to feel that way, because I'm a mom in these trenches with them. And so for me, it's more not focusing on everyone. Of course, I want more people to come and experience. Honestly, it's just such a helpful product. Like, I truly believe in it. And so I know how helpful it can be to, it's so mutually beneficial to baby and parent. Like, it's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. But focusing on the people that have already purchased, or the people that have been there, cheering me on, is like my main focus. That's who I want to connect with. That's who I want to keep happy.
Yeah. And when you have messaging like it's universally good, like, mm-hmm. that's kind of a good foundation to start from. And then I think the authenticity, like I think what you demonstrate on your social media is pretty closely aligned with what you actually are. I mean, people would meet you and wouldn't be
shocked.
Yeah, right?
Like, oh, wow, you really are doing poop puns all the time. Isn't that
all
fun?
The cupboards are open.
Yeah.
Yes, you really are doing the puns.
You really are so scatterbrained.
All the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You're a year in. Mm-hmm. A little over a year in? A year.
A little, I would say. I mean, I kind of call December like the year because that's when it was manufactured.
Okay.
And that's when I got on Shopify. Like I got a Shopify website. Well, Shopify was like in January, but like I feel really good once you get a Shopify website.
Yes,
so,
and you should.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes.
That's amazing. Okay. Yeah. So in this year, there must have been a lot of things that you're like, wow, I did that really well. That went really well. I'm going to do that again. And there's probably some things that you were like, I'm never going to do that again. Why did I do that? Do you have some of those
like
moments?
That on a daily basis of like the waves of, wow, this is so great.
Yes.
The first moment I can think of that I was just like, I cannot believe this happened was the company Just Ingredients listing the Bonobo Baby bidet as their favorite one of their favorite baby products. That was like a huge, for me, I was just like, that's such a trust builder. I am such a big fan of Carolyn Call and everything she has done with that company. So for her to back it was a huge just win for me. I would say last December, right when we got our first manufactured 5,000 orders, bonobos, I had a reel that just took off, right? I call it the vagina finger reel because it is me demonstrating how to clean poop out of what would be a vagina on a baby, and it just took off, right? People hated it.
Is that right?
Oh, they were like, this is like, you can't demonstrate this. I'm like, it's okay. Like I'm not. That's why I'm showing up. Anyways, but that was good because I just had this influx of, it was so cool, right? It was that moment of like, my phone was just going off like cha-ching, cha-ching. And it's just like these endorphins, right? So that was a big, right? That was a moment of like, this is really cool. I can do this. Like, I've got this. That pitch competition was crazy. Like
at Commerce Catalyst.
Yes, that was Mackenzie Bauer from Thread Wallets. I was so lucky to be connected with her. She took the time to have a Zoom call with me, just not even knowing me at all. And I stayed kind of connected with her on Instagram after we had that call a year ago, and she had reached out and said, "Hey, you should apply for this pitch competition." I was like, oh my gosh, it sounds like my nightmare. Like, I hate public speaking. It terrifies me. And I submitted and got the email. You were not selected. I was like, great. Like, bummer, because it kind of would have been cool to be like, yeah, we like your product, but also kind of yay, because I don't have to pitch. Like 2 weeks later, I get an email from Matt that's like, hey, you're a runner-up. A person dropped out. Like, you're up. And it was like, oh
no,
I have to do this. So I'd never done a pitch. I've never talked to investors. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. But I worked really hard. Like, the one thing that I'm proud about myself is I'm going to put the work in. Like, that's something that I will do. And athletic drive of needing to be good and do the best. That kind of overly prepare. Just that's kind of what happened, and worked a lot with ChatGPT. I used all the different robot versions and pitched and had them act as investors. And getting up on that stage, I was the last one to present, right? So everyone's just kind of over it by then, right? Everyone's tired.
Yeah.
And I just have to go, they are pooped.
They were pooped.
You're beating me. I think you have more than me now.
I think that's just two. Maybe.
I think you've had 3. 2. I had to go after this incredible woman who is going to be on Shark Tank, right? Like, she has this, they have developed this technology to make a wagon that's electric, like the same motor from a bike. And it's this invention and all these patents. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, are you shitting me? I have to go after her. Like, this is a joke. Like, I'm literally going up. And that's how a lot of them were. It was like these amazing, groundbreaking things, right? And I have to go on last and after that. And I look over at my sister who had flown in from Washington. And I'm just like, we kind of just start laughing together because you go from like this high-end technical, like it's an invention, right? Like she has invented, guess what? Mine is an invention too. It is simple, but I invented something, and I just go up there, and I think all my nerves left my body at that moment just because I was like, I can't win this. Like, I have no chance. Like, this is hilarious. Like, I'm going to go up there. Let's have fun. It was an instant, like, I want to make the audience laugh.
Yeah.
I want to wake them up. I want to engage with them and tell them how honestly I am proud of this product. Like, regardless of this, I think I had one on my wrist. Like, I was wearing it, you know, like I have it on my bag right now.
Oh, there it is.
Yep, there it is. I had it like attached on both wrists. Like I was just like, I'm proud of this. And you guys, and I remember asking for the money and being like, you guys want to give me the $20,000. Like you want to. And when Matt called my name, to be a finalist, I was shocked. I mean, hysterically laughing and crying at the same time because no one was more shocked in that room than me. But I was really like, I was just proud, right? It was a moment of, whoa, like they see potential in me that I didn't even see in myself before I had even gotten on that stage. So that was a really cool moment. So I'm really grateful. It took years off of my life, prepping for a speech like that, because I just, in front of people, I am not equipped for that.
I know that doesn't resonate at all.
That's what a lot of people say, but it is.
I know
there.
because you're because you're very engaging, and all the stuff you do is like what I told you when I walked in. I felt like I knew you because I've seen a bunch of your reels and all the stuff you do on social media.
Yeah.
I think people have that sense of you. Maybe you should think about that. Like when you go on stage, people feel like they know you.
Yeah.
And
I do need
that's an easier audience.
I need to have that mindset more for sure. I think a lot of you feeling that way from me, I didn't start off that way in my life. Like that's not who I am. My son has taught me to be that way. My son with autism he does whatever he wants. He is 100% true to himself in any situation, anywhere. That kid will beatbox in public, in front of anyone. He will quote any movie. Like, to watch this little boy have people stare at him like, what is he doing? Like, give him the weirdest looks and have the biggest smile on his face. Like, he is literally like my inspiration for if something is going to make me uncomfortable, I'm going to do it, because that kid, that I made him, right? He is showing me every day, like, you got to take risks. And I tell him he gets scared very easily. And I always tell, like, he has so many fears and anxiety about so much stuff in the world that he doesn't understand. And if I'm going to tell him it's okay to be scared, but we don't let that stop us, then I have to show it to him.
Sure.
So although I am putting myself out there and doing those things, it truly is uncomfortable for me. But he is honestly the reason that I do it, because I see him putting himself in uncomfortable situations every single day, because that's what his life is right now. So I'm glad that it looks natural. And it's becoming more natural because I do it so much. But it's because of him. Truly because of my little boy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Is that one of the things that you've learned? Is that one of the things that you've always had, is the ability, the willingness to take risks?
No. Oh my gosh, no.
This is something you've developed.
Yeah. And I think that is because of becoming a mom. I think I would say that many women that become moms notice this newfound, like, honey badger mentality, I would say. Like, honey badger don't give a shit, right? That they start to kind of get instilled with, because we will do anything for our kids. And so when that drive, and I know dads are that way too. I can only speak from the mom perspective because I am a mom, but I would say my husband is the same way. But when you have that drive of like, I'll do anything for you, like, the risk mentality starts to kind of come in, because there are risks you need to take in order to make some of those goals happen. And so, no, I was not a risk taker. I was follow the rules. I was so by the book, like, terrified of getting in trouble. That, no, this is a new found version of myself from the punctured epidural and going through all of that. That is a part that I am grateful for that experience.
Okay. I still have questions about your business, but this just popped into my head. Overcoming the dark period in your life, scoring a game-winning goal, or being announced as a finalist in the pitch competition, which gave you the greatest... I'm not going to put your kids in there because that always wins.
Yeah.
Which gave you the greatest satisfaction? Which gives you the greatest...
Overcoming the darkness. Oh my gosh. Like without even hesitating, because becoming yourself again, like when you lose it, like you lose your joy and you're just a robot of a human. And then that's all you crave, right? That is like getting life back into you is still like, it's just the best feeling. It's such a great thing to be able to look at that, and it's the past and it's not your present currently.
Wow. Okay. So where are we headed? What's next?
What is next? My goal right now, we're going to keep testing ads, right? I've got to grow with that. And I started out being really strong with networking. When I first conceptualized this idea, meeting people that are just, I want to be a sponge. I want to learn from the people who are just, and when they're so willing to help, like you got to take advantage of that, right? Mm-hmm. But I kind of stopped that process because I was so focused on, getting the business to grow and to get profit and to hit certain benchmarks. And I'm at a steady pace right now where I'm ready to hit like the next level. So a lot of it is learning mode right now. Like I want to get back into, okay, it's time to start learning again, get into like my podcast obsessions and go to network events and start to make connections, because I want to make Bonobo Baby more known in the sense that, okay, it's a trusted brand. Like we have more influence behind it that moms can be like, I've heard of this. Okay, this is something I can buy. That is a big part. My goal is to be $1 million product and then hit Amazon. I'm not on Amazon right now, but that is a big whale to tackle, right? And when I do it, I want to do it right. And I don't want to be the one to do it. That is just above and beyond. I want to pay someone who can do this right so that we can be successful when we get on the god that is Amazon of products. So those are my next steps right now. And hoping to just continue to grow so that I can reach my financial goals for my kids.
That's amazing. How do you feel about competition and threats in the marketplace?
I mean, I'm totally aware it's going to happen. And that once again stems down to, I got to build a brand and I've got to be the place where my customers have heard of it first. And that gives me an advantage because there's not anything else like it on the market. So I'm lucky in that sense. But as it grows, it's an easy thing, right? There's patents, like I hope to have a patent that comes through, right? It's patent pending that will protect this product. But in the way I look at it is no one is going to make it as well as I did. With the amount of heart and complexity that went behind it. And so if other people are making it, they're really just giving samples of my product that hopefully will get customers to go, okay, well, I liked this, but it broke instantly. Let's go get the one that actually works.
Mm-hmm. Are you interested in continuing to run the business and build the business, or are you interested in being acquired?
I have mixed feelings about that because I genuinely do love I love doing this and I have fun with it. But I've told my husband many times that my goal is to get to the point where I can be more hands off, I think. So I don't know if I could give it up, right? But I do want to get to the point where I'm hands off and I have enough money that I can literally, when my son gets into junior high, I am following him. Like I'm going to volunteer at that school and they don't have to pay me. I'm going to be like the Laughlin's mom, like just to be there if he needs me, to be there as his friend, as like his like that is like what drives me. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be there for my kids. And so if I can find a way to financially step back and let this thing continue to grow with people who know how to run it better than me, then I'm going to allow that to happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, talk about a product with a purpose.
Yes.
You clearly have your purpose.
Yes, for sure.
And it, like you said, it's a universal product. Everybody should love it.
Everybody poops. Everybody. I don't care if you're having...
That a book?
It is. And there's actually a lot of children's books about poop and different kind of poop. But yeah, if you're having a boy or a girl, like I have 100% guarantee that they will be pooping and you will be cleaning that poop. So...
And so why not do it the right way?
We do it the right way. And the easy way. Like do it in a way where you don't... Yeah, it's easy. It is easier. And I feel like, and this is a funny way to say this, but it's so true that parenting should be enjoyed. Like it should not just be a thing that you endure until you miss it, right? There needs to be a point to enjoy it now. And that even means changing poopy diapers. Like find a way to enjoy it. And I'm telling you that when you remove all of the frustrations that are possible with cleaning poop, like wipes that don't get it off or the ribbon dance of wipes, right? And you have that prepared peace of mind that you're always going to be able to get that poop off and give them a gentle, and it's a fast clean. You have way more time being less frustrated and way more time being able to enjoy even the moments where you're cleaning a poopy diaper, right? And I just hope that for everyone, because it was so important to me to find that joy in motherhood again when I lost it. And I think getting rid of those really mundane, like tedious daily tasks, being frustrated with them is a really helpful part in being a happy parent for your kid. No doubt. And amazingly, even all of those difficult experiences, as I look back now, those are all of the things that you're like, oh, I wish I could experience that one more time. Yeah. So why not make it an even more enjoyable experience? Make it enjoyable while you're doing it. From being like, don't get to the point where like, oh crap, like they're poopy. I have to change this diaper. Oh no, I don't know how long they were poopy. My wipes I left the lid open on my wipes. They're dry. Like, there's just dry. You remove any of that just by adding a spritz the shits, and I promise you it's going to be better. Like I can promise you that because that's what I do. Yeah. For my kids. I almost thought of one day you being able to say like you know how the McDonald's does that over 10 billion served or whatever they say. Oh yeah. I think that's going to be you. Oh, that's going to be so cool. Let's manifest it. Yes. Let's do that. Let's speak it. Is that it? Wait, is that a Taylor Swift thing? Did you just bring Taylor Swift back into this? Why did you do that? She's a mastermind, so I think that we should be masterminds. Taylor. She has her Swifties, I have my poopsies, and we are aligned in that way. And we have our shippers. Yes, ship happens. Either way. There's so much fun. There's all the good stuff. Look, I've had so much fun talking with you. I could keep talking to you, even though you may not have enjoyed it. No, as much as you don't have to say it. I know I don't have to. Trust me, I wouldn't. I'm like I said, honest to a fault. So no, I had so much fun. Here's what I've been thinking almost the whole time of you going home now and sitting down in like a chair, sort of like this, and reenacting a podcast where you're like, your thoughts are like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Sitting here, this is the most terrible. This is the worst. Yeah. Nobody's even heard of you. I should call it a poop cast. This is a turd. Yes. Oh, wait. You had that one name before I let you go. What was one of the first names before you settled on Bonobo? Oh, my gosh. The turtle. Wait. Oh, the turtle. Yeah, the turd. The turtle, and it was taken. It was? It was taken. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was nothing. It's like someone had bought the domain, turd-ol, but they weren't using it for anything. But I was like, I'm not going to buy. No. I'm not going to buy. And I know, like, the Baby was a big one that was in my head for a long time. Yeah, that's But good. The clarity behind that, I don't think would have been instantly there as a baby bidet. So, Baby is more of just a short way I say it on my own terms, but it's not what we call it. Gotcha. Well, it's a great story. Thank you. And continued success. I hope you'll come back and see us sometime. I would love to. It would be an honor. Tell us what's going on. Thank you. Way to go. Where can people find you? Our website is bonobobaby.com or Instagram. I'm the Bonobo Baby. I had to put the because Bonobo Baby was taken. So that's why I reference myself as the Bonobo Baby. But I'm super active and responsive. Like, I will respond to you on Instagram.
And like I said, if you're looking for some good content,
come and follow along.
Seriously, it's very entertaining.
Thank you.
You can get lost in it.
Thank you.
Lora Palmer, thanks for coming by.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you.
Thank you. That was so fun.
Thank you for listening to the Know Your Ship podcast presented by eHub. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review.